And if you want to show everyone a website like a Zoom meeting or ptk.org, then whatever is on this is actually being recorded onto this. And then at the end, whenever you're done,
recording that?
you just stop. I'm recording it right now. You're being recorded. 17 seconds of me saying, gee, everyone's being recorded. Which is kind of boring. I do this for my classes. I've started doing this for my classes. In part because the weather's going to get bad and every once in a while someone's car breaks down or someone's dog gets sick or child gets sick.
And heaven knows with the traffic that we're having in Wheeling, you literally might not be able to get there from here.
And next Friday I'm actually going to be in Charleston, so I won't be here for the PTK thing. I won't be here for my class, so I'm going to record a thing for them. But you can record anyone who's not able to come to the induction. Not the induction, the orientation.
I don't remember her having an orientation.
Yeah, I don't remember
last
that.
year.
We had one, but you might not have come.
I might not have been
until in December, like a week before it was induction time. So, and then I had to go to Vegas, so it was like I missed the whole.
Did you go see any good shows?
Yeah, I went to Low Rev.
I was like, I would want to go see all the magic shows and stuff like that. None of the gambling.
Yeah, I didn't.
I just want to go see the shows.
It was for my 25th birthday. Me and my mother went.
You're 25?
Yeah.
Good luck, 19.
Oh, so you
Because I'm 19.
No, you don't. 19.
Early 20s. Like 20, 21.
But no, yeah, we went to a water show called the Lorette, and it was amazing.
I've heard about the water shows. I've been to those and the Cirque.
Yeah, it was
Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah, they're both in like they have the same type of people and do the same type of performances. So I recommend.
I was like, I want to go there for the shows and the food. None of
The
the
food was amazing too.
I was like, none of the script or
The time difference.
Yeah, we don't
is
really.
what kind of messes things up.
I mean, I would probably want to go to the casino just to look at all the stuff.
By the time we got there the first day, it was like going on 12, and like I started freaking out because there was guys standing on the side like trying to recruit people like, hey, you need a ride, and like
No.
they worked for Uber, but still like it's sketchy to like just coming out of
Well, you see my no.
Yeah. So
I think not.
I think it's safe that she's not starting the meeting, so it might be just us.
Okay.
Um,
Are you able to start a new one yourself, or?
But then no one.
I could, but I'd have to tell everyone about it.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll go ahead and leave that. See if it ever starts. And
The spinning circle of death.
because I thought everyone would have that thing, I didn't bother to secure a particular IP video room in Weirton or New Martinsville. Seth I knew was not going to be free, and I wasn't sure about anyone in Weirton. It really would be nice to plan a couple of things next week at not this time, but 10:30 to 11:30, and it kind of has to be 10:30 to 11:30 because that's the only gap that Dr. Kalb has between her classes. I'll be gone, but she'll be here, and we should have snacks everywhere. And someone, if either I'll buy them or someone else can buy them, and PTK can pay for
You
snacks.
should bake your brownies.
If you want to bake brownies,
She
that's
makes
cool.
Really
I
good
make, excuse my
brownies.
language, but I make hella good brownies.
That
really
sounds
good.
delightful.
And maybe I'll bring some meatloaf too.
No, just stick with the brownies.
Because they have dinner and dessert. Or
Well,
lunch.
it's in the morning though. It's 10:30.
Okay, it's
10:30.
brunch.
Stick with the brownies.
Anyway, having actual people here would be nice. Also, I wanted to mention before I forget about it, Saturday, not this coming Saturday, but next Saturday. So next Friday is our orientation for prospective members. All the people who got invitations got an email from me saying, hey, you're all invited to come, and the officers will be here, and anyone else, and people will talk about stuff. And a lot of what they'll do is show them the website, show them the ptk.org. You can certainly see more things that I'm ever going to be able to remember about PTK and scholarships and benefits and all sorts of other things. We we don't do much compared to a lot of schools. I'm sorry, I should have introduced myself. I'm Holly Buchanan.
Hi, JC Baker,
Nice
Vice
to meet you,
President.
Jason.
I'm Tracy Baker.
Nice to
her,
meet you.
her wife.
Like Vice President's mother.
That's wonderful, but and I know you, Manisha.
Yes.
Manisha,
Nomination.
Jason, Manisha.
Oh,
Friday is the orientation for prospective students. Saturday is open house on all three campuses. And so teachers and organizations are doing things. And Melanie Baker, who's in the, I don't know, Office of Institutional Research, said that she could sit at a table over in the student union. All the different clubs have a table in the student union for prospective students to say these are some of the clubs. And if some of you students or all of you students would like to, you could certainly come over there. We've got some amount of propaganda and banners and pretty pictures and things. I probably still have posters from Florida. I usually try to get posters whenever we go to the
I'm trying to get the student here.
Yeah.
I have wristbands. My daughter rips them.
Oh.
Yeah, we got these really cool glowy wristbands last year.
I actually got a handful of those and
Yeah.
gave them to my kids this summer. They loved them.
That's so cute.
That was the best. That was the best
I miss
swag
being a
from.
kid.
I think so too. Because when we were at Disney, we would see people with them. They're like, "Hey, you're from PTK too."
I wanted to mention, since I had it, here are some of the recruitment stuff. PTK will print these and send it, but if you like anything particularly, we can get these printed. Do you guys have any favorites? Do you like this?
I think I like the one of the person with her hand on her hip, just like, hey, join us.
Which one was the hand on hip?
Right there.
This one, yes. Okay. So I'll make a little note.
I was like, because that almost looks like nice, warm, and friendly.
Approachable.
Yeah, approachable.
I can get these mailed from PTK. They might not get here in time. I can get them printed by someone whose name I forget, and I'll remember later. We could, but we could get other things
Shirley,
as well.
quick print.
What?
Shirley?
How many?
No,
how
not
many
Shirley.
do you need printed?
Well, if this is a poster size, then we might only need one for a table, maybe one on each campus, and there might already be one down in New Martinsville because there's lots of stuff in New Martinsville. Dr. Goldstein, Professor Goldstein retired, and he has lots of leftover stuff, and I have a fair amount of leftover
Oh,
stuff.
and those little cards are so cute.
I can certainly order some of these and get some of these, and stickers, and
Table tents, that's cool.
so they're standing things. You like all of those?
Yeah, I have a really good photographic eye.
She also, budget isn't her thing either.
No.
I would just say budget isn't her thing. She's really good at designing things, but as far as the cost of it, don't trust her.
Well,
Yeah, don't trust me on that.
that's not a big issue because the school should pay for the printing, and if we get stuff from PTK, they'll send it free, promotional materials.
Oh.
So I can ask them for any of these. It just sometimes takes a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Um,
I also have no concept of time.
Yeah,
comes to this
I
kind of
screw up.
creative
Well,
stuff.
you can tell because I've got there's a meeting that I'm in downstairs right now at the same time as this. That wasn't my fault. That was someone
I was
else.
like, oh,
Well, so she walked in.
The math.
And she tried to, and they're like, no, it's math. And she's like, what do I do?
I was like,
I'm glad that you did. I'm sorry that I didn't see you outside. So you like to start the career? You like the cards?
yeah, I like both of those. Both of those are really good. Like both cards are really good. Like we can have a pile for each, so if they want to pick up each,
And you like the standing
yeah.
10 things?
I don't know which one I like better.
do you have everyone's email that's involved? I don't.
I think I have some of the numbers.
So
It's because I need to send out an email to say what we discussed today, so I need.
indeed, and honestly, you can send out a link to this recording and everyone could watch it. I mean, it's a little bit boring, and it's not the same as being in person. You can't shake hands with the computer screen. I suppose you can do this.
Yeah.
You can,
You're like, hello.
anyway,
Oh my god, this has been going on for 10 minutes.
that's the Zoom never did come in. No, still waiting.
You're not.
As of last week, I get a report every week. As of last week, our first week, we had 2 people already join, which is cool.
Hey.
And there was a huge crap ton of people that I sent out to active members and invited people to come to this. And I sent another email to officers. Actually, I forwarded Joyce's emails to prospective students and to current members. I sent them to everyone who has an expiration date that hasn't expired yet. Not an expiration date, an alumni date. So if you look on the PTK website, actually I'm not sure what you guys see when you look on the PTK website. When I look on the PTK website and I log in, I can I remember my password?
This is why I have it saved, so I never have to remember it.
Yeah, but this is a public podium computer.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, maybe don't do
I'm
that.
not gonna do
None on the public. On the home ones.
I don't even do it at
I do it on the home.
because I got hacked that way.
What?
Like someone, it was my mom's credit card. They, I guess, yeah.
It happened to my Amazon
Yeah.
account.
Let me.
And it happened to my grandfather.
No, I don't want to close that.
But you have to do
I did want to go back to the open house after the open house next Saturday. Oh, and also this Saturday, if any of you guys were interested. Last I heard, Joyce intends to go, and I intend to go,
Where
and
is it?
possibly Melanie Baker and possibly Dr. Kalb to Eastern Gateway, where we went to the conference, to the local conference.
Where's
I'm
that?
not- What?
Where's that?
In Steubenville?
It doesn't matter, you've got family commitments on Saturday. I'm
It's
sorry.
Saturday morning. It's
Okay.
Saturday.
It's
at
10:30
night.
in the morning, she's gotta be at something, so if we could work around that.
Understand.
we can do it.
And it's not. You don't have to, especially since Joyce hadn't been to the induction last time, and most of the officers, some of the officers hadn't. I mean, you weren't at yours, but you were at the last one. And some of the faculty hadn't been to inductions before. Dr. Kalb is a new advisor. She's technically in New Martinsville, but she's often here in Wheeling. I'm technically in Weirton, but I'm in Wheeling or New Martinsville all the time because I'm kind of
Like, I've
stupid
seen
that
you
way.
here a lot, right next door.
Yeah.
I've never been on this floor.
Oh, really?
I didn't even
Like, this is my first semester being on this floor.
Wow.
Well, they moved the IP videos here, and
Oh yeah,
so that's why I'm
I've
here a
been
lot.
up here for CFC and language and literacy a lot.
Anyway, if anyone's interested in going to their induction, it's at Gateway, and I'm not sure where at Gateway, but there have to be signs because there have to be people more confused than I am.
Okay.
So if you're interested, you might even be able to carpool with someone and save a ride, or not, you know. Anyway, it would be nice if if anyone can do open house.
That's next Saturday, right?
The 9th.
I feel like I should be taking notes.
Well, one nice thing is the recording takes notes, and you can just watch the recording. I can mail this to you.
Okay.
Do you have a YouTube account or a? Well, I'll send it to you one way or another.
Okay.
Get a YouTube account or a
Like,
Google
I
Mail.
probably do, but I haven't signed into
If
it
you
in
do
a long
follow
time.
me, I make basically 0 videos.
More important than the open house is the orientation. And honestly, I don't even really want to be running. I had planned to be sitting down a lot more than I am. I'm used to standing here because I'm teaching, but I don't really want to be doing this for PTK meetings.
Wow, caught on camera.
I know.
Exposed.
Dr. Kalb should be here, and Melanie Baker should be here. Seth should be at the IP video room in New Martinsville next Friday, and I hope that we'll have someone in Weirton, although I don't have an absolute commitment yet. We should have snacks on all 3 campuses, and hopefully we have lots of interested students, and you can tell them about whatever you know about PTK and why they might be interested and what they can do. We haven't ordered chocolate yet. We usually do. Well, there's a $75 fee to join PTK, although if people have financial difficulties, we can waive that, or their scholarships and other things. One of the things that we typically do as a fundraiser is get boxes of Sarah's candy, Sarah's chocolates, and they usually come. It really is good, and it's very popular. So there are lots of faculty and staff who would buy, who will seek you out to buy them from you, and use that to offset the entrance fee or offset travel fees and other things.
It's like the one guy from SpongeBob just chased after him. Chocolate.
I don't remember a chocolate from SpongeBob.
I was like,
but
that. It was just one episode, and it was a very popular meme.
I believe you.
So we're selling them at the table. Is that one?
What we've done in the past is individual students would take out a box, and I don't remember. I think a box is 36. But actually, there's the dollar size and the $2 size, and it's something like $36 bars or $32 bars. They've got different flavors.
Wait, are you saying $32 bars or $32 bars?
I don't remember, so don't trust me in any case. I think it was 36 $1 bars or 30 $2 bars. The $2 bars were bigger and schmancier, so the regular bars, they would come in regular chocolate or chocolate with Rice Krispies or chocolate with peanut butter. And then the $2 bars, they came with bigger chocolate, but they also had dark chocolate. They had caramels. They had other things. They had the pretzel. They had actually pretzel sticks, but they also had a chocolate bar with pretzel pieces broken into it. And they're all, Sarah's is dangerous. They really. I try to avoid
I'd be
them.
interested in taking a box to, get rid of.
Sure. I haven't put in an order for Sarah's. Maybe I should. We usually end up getting whatever. There's a minimal amount you have to order in order to get like free shipping or reduced shipping, and then we just divvy them up. So we'd separate boxes so that there's some on each campus, which is why it's nice that we have advisors on each campus. At this point, we have 4 advisors. I'm an advisor technically in Weirton, although I'm kind of everywhere. Dr. Kalb is an advisor technically in New Martinsville, although also in Wheeling. Melanie Baker is an advisor, and Dr. Sharma is an advisor, but Dr. Sharma is also a dean or vice president or something else, so she's often busy and not uninterested, but often not as day-to-day involved with activities and things. As far as I know, everyone should be able to make induction in the evening of since I'm listing things. The 6th of December.
My birthday.
I know, you told me. And I said we would bring cake, because there's always a cake.
Oh, hell no.
I haven't ordered that cake before, and Mark always got it from Witchy's in New Martinsville, I think. So I may have to contact them and find out how they did, but it's a really cool cake with names on it and looks very, very schmancy.
It was pretty good last year.
It is a tasty cake as well. I mean, you wouldn't want it to look great and taste bad. It actually is pretty good on both counts. Any other thoughts, questions? It'd be nice if there were more people. You guys are already both officers, so you've kind of volunteered to do stuff as well.
Yeah.
We need people for the open house. That's the next immediate thing, and we need people for the orientation. The open house is nice. The orientation is actual people who've been invited, and why should I care? I mean, they can get some of that from going to the website, but they really ought to talk to humans.
Yeah.
Open house would be nice too. If you only could pick one, I would rather people show up for orientation. And then induction is another month away, so we'll deal with that when we get a little closer. Did anyone have questions? I really am talking much more than I want to be talking.
Oh, no.
Like, I don't really have any questions.
I will show you how to stop this and save this and keep it so that you can share. You could send a link to this whole video to everyone who wasn't here who's interested.
I do have a suggestion though for activities.
Sure.
Like, if there's enough snow, could we possibly have a snowman building competition?
Sounds like fun.
Okay, that's why I suggested it. Nice and fun, friendly competition. Okay, or maybe a scheduled snowball fight?
Oh, no.
Is that scheduled?
I don't know. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. As long as it's not maybe the night of induction when everyone is dressed up, then I have no problem
No,
with playing in the
I
snow.
wouldn't make it the 6th, no. I would probably make it in January.
I know Joyce also had things that she wanted to talk about. She said that she had really good ideas about activities that she wanted to do.
We're meeting again next week, right?
We are meeting
So
again.
We could discuss those.
Yeah, we could
things
discuss
then.
more activities then.
Yeah.
True. Next week is oriented, but absolutely, I mean, members should be here as well, and we can talk about activities for the future and what people are interested in. And we can also talk about this over email as well.
I think I'd rather talk about it in person. That way we can be openly critiqued or corrected or something.
Understand, but I also recognize that people don't always make it. Next week for orientation, we do have IP video rooms reserved on all 3 campuses, so I'll show you how to do that, or Heather or someone later.
Okay. I'm really good with directions if you show me right the first time.
Sounds great. I may show you wrong the first time, but we'll try it.
In that case, I'll call the IT guy.
That always works. Any other questions?
Do we have any information on any of our
Still nothing.
trips this year, I guess?
Wait, we have trips?
There are conferences and conventions and things, and they are, let's see.
Did we go on any fun trips?
Oh,
like,
yes.
Kennywood?
They're all pretty fun.
Any trip can be fun, as long as you
Yeah.
make it.
I think that's the Ohio Region website. Although, so the big trip for the year every year is called Catalyst, and Catalyst 2 years ago was the centennial. It was 100 years of PTK, and it was in Kansas City. And last year it was in Florida. It was at Kissimmee. It was in Orlando.
I want Florida. I want to go to Florida. I want to go to Disney.
So they tend to go not coast to coast, but left side to right side, east side to west side. next year, the 2021 is in Texas. Was it Austin or somewhere in Texas?
I've never been to Texas.
I have never been to Texas either.
I was like, that sounds like fun.
It's actually it's another Gaylord. It's the same layout. It's the same hotel as the one that we stayed in, Greater Dallas.
Okay, yeah.
That sounds fun.
And it's on my birthday.
Yay! Happy birthday in advance.
So that it's a huge, mind-bogglingly huge convention, but always a lot of fun.
And you get to meet so many great people.
Is there any deserts nearby that I can get good pictures?
No, say it again.
Any
Deserts?
Yeah.
I have no idea
Like, I
about
wanna get
Texas
good pictures
geography.
of- I was like, I want to get good pictures of like cacti and the landscape and stuff. I am a photographic eye.
I would imagine, but I just don't know. I thought there were regional events listed here. There are. They're just I'm not finding them.
I don't think we'll look later on.
Yeah, there was one that happened not long ago. The Honors in Action was not long ago. Upcoming is in the spring. In the spring is Honors in Action. Honors in Action is generally the award ceremony. There's a Leadership in Action. These are the current officers in the Ohio region, and I should know where to find events. Hallmark Awards, regional award guidelines. It's on here somewhere.
Where
Events.
websites change their things every day just to confuse people.
Or you can use that. Yours looks different than mine.
Yeah.
There it is.
That sounds promising. So Leadership in Action was in October in Columbus, and that's maybe that's why I wasn't finding more, is because that's the only one currently on the list. Honors in Action is in the spring. I'm not sure where. We actually hosted it a couple of years ago. We had it here in this building and in the EC building and over in the student union, and we went to the Nailers. Did you go to the Nailers game?
You guys went to a Nailers game?
Yeah, it was cool. Well, the conferences they're usually a one-day thing, but we kind of spread them over 2 days. So usually people arrive on a Friday, and we have some sort of activity or entertainment. Sometimes there's a talk, but usually there's just entertainment. And then Saturday is when the business gets done. There are usually panels and talks, and divide into groups. So there are advisor talks and student talks and officer talks and other things. At the Gateway Conference in the spring, this past spring, there was a main invited speaker and then separate talks and then another main invited speaker. I think there were 2 speakers.
Yeah.
Sometimes there are 2 or 3.
A little entertainment at the end.
And they had entertainment the night before. They had a play. There was a mystery that there were some
Like
actors.
a murder mystery?
Yeah, actors in a murder mystery. And so we
I
were.
love those kinds of things.
It really was very cool.
It would be nice to go with like a bed and breakfast that had a murder mystery theme.
It would.
And the guests actually like take part, like one pretends to get murdered.
Anyway, there are there are several events, and there are lots of activities, and there are lots of scholarships and other things, and there's.
Yeah, we didn't have, what I would like to see happen with our group this year is a lot more of involvement. Like, I guess there was, they were saying so many different schools' names, but we weren't up there. So I was just like, we gotta get on the board.
Well, we were smaller. I mean, and there are a lot of schools. Texas ends up winning a lot of awards. Texas has a lot of money to throw at PTK. We're not poor, but we're not Texas, okay? I mean, they fund things very well, and they have a very active group, and they have often really big schools. I appreciate the people we have, and I thank you both again for volunteering to be officers. I thank everyone who ever listens to this for bothering to listen to this.
I'm just.
Oh.
I would have signed up last year, but I was just it was new to me, and I'm nervous. So.
Well, I'm glad that you did. I appreciate it. We had some issues getting officers. We didn't have a lot of we usually get officers in the spring. We didn't have a lot of volunteers in the spring, and the person who did volunteer ended up with other commitments, so that he wasn't able to continue. He actually volunteered to be vice president, but since there wasn't a president, he sort of slotted forward anyway. But then he wasn't able to do it. So technically, before he resigned, he appointed you and Joyce, because if not, then we'd have to have a meeting, and we'd have to have a quorum, and we'd have to have a vote to get people, and it's not worth even thinking about trying to do that.
I understand.
Anything else?
No, I think we're good.
I think we can call it a day.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and stop this.